Welcome crafters to Paperfire Studio. I am so excited to do, I guess, a flip up, not really a flip through because it is a gatefold journal. But I gave you a sneak peek of this in a couple of videos back because it wasn't done yet. And finally, I have it done. In fact, I have a couple of these to show you. It is not my idea. I have kind of edited it a little bit, but it's I will put the link down below to the tutorial where I first saw this being made. And my creative brain just was so excited about this, just because I love file folders. And I'm sure all of us love the weight of the file folder and how well it scores. There's stitching and scoring, and you'll see here in a minute how it's constructed. Although it's a little deceiving, I had to watch the tutorial a couple of times to really understand how she was constructing this. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and open the Peach Beauty. I love these colors. So, I didn't really want to do a closure here because it would cover up and I would have to go in through this fabric, and I just couldn't do it. This fabric is so beautiful. I hope that the camera is picking it up. It's got texture to it, beautiful color. So I went into my doilies and my linens to kind of see how could I close this and not have to touch the fabric. Well, here was my solution. Some Snug Hug binding on either corner of the crocheted, not real even sure what it was, but this was the piece that I had, and it fit perfectly to just tie it around it and keep it closed. And I do let it hang down a little bit because I like the lace hanging down at the bottom. So that's the closure. And here is the Peach Beauty fabric on the outside. I did not put anything on the back. I actually liked the way that looked. I did some gessoing to the file folder to kind of give it a little more of a rustic look there. And again, the middle is coffee dyed. So let's open her up. All right. Again, we're calling it a gatefold. It could be a folio. It could be a ton of things. But we'll start on the left and work our way this way. And this was an ephemera piece that I did a video on. And it's got an embossed heavy watercolor paper to it. I did a little fussy cut there. And it's backed with some coffee stained tracing paper, and then underneath it is the area to write. And of course I did my little stamp there, kind of add a little something something. Then in the middle, this is where I kind of changed it up a little bit. Her original didn't have this setup here, but I liked to do a little pocket here and a big pocket, so I've got two pockets here. And one of them is a little booklet that I just made at the bottom here, and I wanted this flower to show. And then a tag with a tag. I love that. Did a little stamping on there. And then in the big pocket are 3 tags. And this is that beautiful coffee stained paper with lace on it, which I did not do. And then I just put a little crocheted, lined up the hole of the crocheted piece and line it up with the whole of the tag. So that looked fun. All right, and then a little tag in the middle. And this was one I did out of the collage video. I made these little tags. And then the big one, this is a French receipt. I didn't decorate the front of this. I just left it plain because I loved the way that it looked. And again, it's got writing space on the back. But I didn't want to decorate this because you can't, the thing about this you'll see is you can't make it fat. If you make it fat, then the gatefolds are really going to look awkward. So you have to kind of keep everything flat. So then we move over to the right side, and here is a beautiful picture. I'll link to where I got these pictures. I can't remember, I never remember the names, but I will link it down below. I love that picture. Did a little collage at the top. Again, not too fat. You have to keep these kind of flat so that they'll slide in. And then down here is a little pocket. I did a little pocket with lace. And I got that in an order that I'd done. Somebody, I think it was a Tattered Dream, included this. So I used that, and then just a tea-stained little tags that scoot down in there. And you can see how I define the areas with some lace. Did some lace here so that pocket would be defined. And again, did a little lace here for the pocket. Now, what you don't see that's really exciting is these flaps house 2 notebooks. So let me show you. Here's one, and here's the other. So these notebooks slide in the side, and they give you a ton of writing area. Now again, you can't decorate this too much because you can't have it too fat. The beautiful papers there. And I bound the middle with some linen just so it would hold. And this is a vintage wallpaper that I got. And it's one of my cabinet cards that I put to the front. So, and again, these just slide in the little side pockets here. And same with this one. Beautiful paper. Did a little bit of tape there, but again, these are just little notebooks that I did a pamphlet stitch, and they slide in to their pockets there. Now, I have one more surprise in this that you may see from the video or you may not. There's one more pocket, and it's back here. This pocket is at the top, and here is again another, I put my junk journal stamp in there, and these are just really pretty pages. Give you some room to decorate flat. There's some botanicals with a pocket here, and some of our grungy paper, music notes. My little vintage girl, love her. And just some pages here at the back. Same linen spine there. So that goes back in here. So look at all the places you have to write. You have 1, 2, 3 notebooks to write. You have tags here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 tags, and another little booklet, which you can design that any way that you want. So that, my friends, is the Peach Beauty. And I'm going to set that right here because I want to contrast another one that I did, and it's totally different. But before I do that, let me show you what a blank one looks like. This is a file folder that I use. This was kind of my prototype. And here's the side pockets for the notebooks. And then here's the pocket at the back for the big one. So this leaves you all kinds of area to add another pocket, to maybe do a flip, maybe a flip down that comes down. I mean, there's so many things that you can do with this. There is stitching involved. I do like what that adds, and it does help the folding of the file folder. And this is the back. This is the back where you have to add an extension to get it to be wide enough for everything to fit. And then again, it just gatefolds shut. So that is the prototype that I worked off of. Now again, if you want me to do a tutorial, maybe on just the basics of how that's put together, I mean, obviously decorating it would take way too long, but I could do a tutorial on how I actually constructed the base. I'll link you to her video where she did it, but again, I did a couple of things different on there. So again, if you're interested in that, let me know in comments. And here is my second one. And this one, I kind of went with the bling bling on this. Kind of a bohemian kind of style with a doily that I cut some glitter paper underneath it so it glitters through that doily. And then I added one of these pretty jewels with some beautiful lace down the front. And then on this side, I love that picture